What's good, everybody? I'm the Coming Attraction, and welcome back to another Madden 21 video. Today we have a really fun one as we're going to do a Joe Burrow career simulation. Fellas, I think we can all agree that Joe Burrow is a beast and destined for stardom in the NFL, but unfortunately because the Bengals are so trash, garbage, atrocious, whatever you want to say about him, they allowed him to get hurt because their offensive line is so bad he tore multiple ligaments in his knee and ended his season early. Screw that though, we're going to take destiny into our own hands for old Cocky Joe and do a career simulation for him to see what his career would really be like without any injuries. So basically what we're going to do is load up a franchise as the Cincinnati Bengals, but only be the coach and simulate games and seasons to see how old Smokin' Joe does. To start off this season, good old Joey B is a 77 overall, which isn't bad for a rookie, but we can definitely expect that to improve. Now let's quit wasting time though and let's get into the simulation. Let's jump to the playoffs and see how his rookie season went. Now, in terms of team success, Joey B and the Bengals didn't do too hot as they finished 6-10, which is last in their division, and they weren't even close to sniffing the playoff. But in terms of individual success, Joey B did pretty good actually, as he threw for over 3,000 yards and 20 touchdowns. Did have 15 interceptions though, which I would assume has something to do with being hurried a lot. As you can see, he had 31 sacks. Joe Burrow's top receiver was AJ Green, so it's good to see that he's still in Cincinnati helping out Joe Burrow. But I'm going to be honest, guys, AJ Green has totally wasted his career in Cincinnati. In terms of awards, it's pretty clear that Patrick Mahomes won the MVP, which I would assume is going to happen a lot over this simulation, and Joe Burrow did not receive any votes, and unfortunately Justin Herbert is actually the one who ended up winning Rookie of the Year. Now, because the Cincinnati Bengals weren't in the playoffs, we just simulated through the whole playoffs, and what a surprise, the Kansas City Chiefs beat the New Orleans Saints in the Super Bowl 31-21. Now, while Joe Burrow's rookie year wasn't necessarily a failure or a success, it's safe to say that we can at least hope for a better sophomore season. In his second year, he bumped his overall up to an 80 overall, so hopefully he's going to be able to dominate a little bit more on the field. But unfortunately, guys, it's going to be with little help as AJ Green decided to leave the team, and now his top receiver is 84 overall, Tyler Boyd. And well, they actually did worse this year as the Bengals went 5-11 this time around and again didn't even come close to sniffing the playoffs. Burrow was cooking with a little more gas this year though, as he almost threw for 4,000 yards and he upped his touchdowns to 26 and lowered his interceptions to 14. He was hit a lot again though at 28 sacks, but that is a lowerment from last year, so I guess that's good. His top wide receiver did end up being Tyler Boyd, who actually got to the 1,000-yard mark, so I guess he might be a bright spot for not only this season but hopefully years to come for Joe Burrow. No surprise here, winning MVP was Mr. Discount Double Check himself, Aaron Rodgers. Mr. Burrow still received no votes in the MVP race, and in the Super Bowl we had a rematch of Super Bowl 49 between the Patriots and Seahawks with the same outcome as the Patriots won. Moving on to year 3 now, Joe Burrow is looking dashing as ever and has actually reached superstar status and is an 84 overall now, so let's hope and pray he can have a great season. Another little team update is Joe Mixon is up to a 92 overall, so maybe you can expect the Bengals to start giving him the ball some more. I don't know. We're jumping ahead to the playoffs now though, and we're going to see what's up. And unfortunately, once again, no Bengals in sight. I guess depending how you look at it though, they did do a little better as they didn't finish last in their division. They just finished 3rd. Thankfully, Burrow's career continues in an upward trend as he has the best season of his career so far as he throws for over 4,000 yards, has 28 touchdowns and only 9 picks. But once again, guys, he sacked 32 times. It's hard to believe that he'll have any longevity with 32 sacks. Joe Mixon did have over 1,200 yards on the ground, so I guess they did start to use him a little bit more. And I don't know what kind of fantasy world this NFL is living in, but the Browns and Cowboys made it to the Super Bowl, and the Cowboys won it. Yeah, okay, that's fake. Baker Mayfield did end up winning MVP, so at least we kept it in the division, but once again, no MVP votes for Joe Burrow. Moving into year 4 now, we're hoping for some sort of team success for Joe Burrow, as it seems like his career is also being wasted in Cincinnati, but he is up to an 87 overall now, so hopefully that can do something good. And once again, that was short-lived as the Bengals finished 6-10 again and last in their division. What's new? And in this season, unfortunately, Burrow kind of fell off as he threw for under 4,000 yards now, had the same amount of touchdowns at 29, but threw 4 more interceptions at 12. He did get hit less though, only 26 sacks. Browns beat the Giants in the Super Bowl. Can't make this up, guys. That would never happen. And Russell Wilson wins the MVP. That could happen. And I'm beginning to lose hope in Burrow's career, guys, I'm not gonna lie, but let's keep it moving. Year 5 now, when Joe Burrow is nearing 90 overall status, he's at an 89. Hopefully he will be able to hit that next year. Joe Mixon still totally killing the game at a 96 overall, superstar. And guys, Mr. Burrow actually did really well this year as he almost threw for 4,000 yards but had a career high 35 touchdown passes. That is serious improvement, fellas. That is improvement. And the team itself actually improved a little bit too as they finished 8-8 this season, but not over 500 yet, and they still finished last in their division and nowhere near the playoffs. And I guess this is really the year of the mobile quarterbacks as Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens win the Super Bowl and Kyler Murray wins the MVP. Once again though, no votes for our boy Joe. And guys, we have new information. Big news here. I was looking through the Bengals roster trying to find Joe Burrow to give you guys an update on his overall, but he's nowhere in sight. So I did a little searching, and he's on the Rams now. Guys, this is huge news. Hopefully he can start doing some winning, fellas. He's a 91 overall now, too. This is big. He's got Cam Akers at running back and Cooper Kupp at receiver, so hopefully these weapons will be good enough for him. So we went ahead and sent him to the playoffs, guys, but no, the bad luck continues for Joe Burrow as the Rams finish 7-9 and not in the playoffs. And unfortunately, guys, his numbers are actually down basically once again as he threw for under 3,500 yards, 30 touchdowns, and he had 12 interceptions, and he's still getting hit a ton at 27 times. 6 years in the league now, guys. No playoff appearances. This is not looking good for Joe Burrow's leadership. And I guess this is the year of the Cowboy as Dak Prescott wins MVP and the Cowboys win the Super Bowl? Oh my goodness, EA. Like I said, fellas, we're about to be 7 years in, so it's time to get down to it in the nitty-gritty for Joe Burrow. Year 7 now, fellas, and Joe Burrow's a 92 overall. I'm beginning to think that there's no more excuses. He better pull something through this season. It's not going to be easy, though, as his #1 target, Cooper Kupp, is down to an 80 overall. Man, it seems like Burrow just can't get any help or catch a break. We went ahead and simmed to the playoffs, and there was an extremely pleasant surprise. Is look, the Rams got the #1 seed. That is huge. And finally, Smokin' Joe had a year we all knew he was capable of. Threw for over 4,000 yards, had 44 touchdown passes, and only 9 interceptions. And look, he only got sacked 19 times. I told you guys, the less he gets hit, the better he would do. Winning MVP did up being Lamar Jackson though, but Joe Burrow came in second, receiving the most votes that he's ever received. This is the breakout year Burrow needed, but let's see how he does in the playoffs against the Panthers. Burrow and the Rams ended up beating the Panthers 31-21, and Burrow threw for 3 touchdowns and 270 yards, continuing his regular season dominance into the postseason. We went ahead and simulated the next round, and Burrow and the Rams win again, beating the Washington football team 34-28. Joey B's 4 touchdown and 0 interception performance propelled the Rams to the Super Bowl, where they take on Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers. We went ahead and simulated that, and bam, guys, Joe Burrow finally pulls through and wins a Super Bowl as they beat the Los Angeles Chargers 35-30, and he had himself a game. Mr. Joe Burrow threw for 325 yards and 4 touchdowns. I mean, he just absolutely killed it, and he won Super Bowl MVP, man. This is the Joe Burrow we all expect. Coming off that Super Bowl win and Super Bowl MVP, Joe Burrow is now a 94 overall and without a doubt one of the best quarterbacks in the whole entire NFL. We jumped right into it and went ahead and simulated year 8, and Joe Burrow again threw for over 4,000 yards, had 30 touchdowns and only 8 picks, so he continued his dominance. Winning MVP again though was the glorified running back Lamar Jackson, as he is a 99 overall, so I guess it's to be expected. The Rams snuck into the playoffs as the 7th seed, but unfortunately lost in the first round against the Minnesota Vikings. Burrow had a horrendous game as he only threw for 93 yards and 1 touchdown, barring them from being able to have a repeat as the Super Bowl champions. We went ahead and simmed to the end of the playoffs anyways though, and those same Vikings that beat the Rams ended up advancing to the Super Bowl, facing off against the Los Angeles Chargers, with the Chargers winning 27-14, crowning Joe Burrow's arch nemesis Justin Herbert Super Bowl champion. Forwarding into year 9 now, and Joe Burrow is continuing his overall ascension as he's a 95 overall now. He's getting a little freaky now as his #1 receiver is a created player that doesn't exist in the real world, Rashawn Bagley. Just look at him. And even though Burrow's overall continues to go up, his stats continue to be a roller coaster, as this year his stats decrease again, throwing for under 4,000 yards, only 29 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions. And look, he got sacked 27 times. When that number goes up, his stats do worse. Lamar Jackson wins MVP again, because why not? But luckily, the Rams were able to sneak into the playoffs, though, as they face Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. We simmed that game, and Joe Burrow was able to get the win again in the playoffs, man. Huge win. And he absolutely murked it, guys. Threw for over 400 yards and had a touchdown pass. Just dominated. Unfortunately, though, the dominance would stop there as Burrow and the Rams lose to the Vikings again, 27-24. Burrow played decent as he had 368 yards and 2 touchdowns. Did have 1 pick, though, but just wasn't quite good enough to get it done. The Cleveland Browns win the Super Bowl again because we're in year 9 of a simulation, and why not? Now, though, we're in the final year of the simulation, guys, and Joe Burrow is a 95 overall. During the season, he threw for 3,700 yards, 34 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions, and the Rams won their division. Oh, and what a surprise, winning the MVP again is Lamar Jackson. We just love giving it to glorified running backs. The Rams went ahead and faced the New York Giants in the first round of the playoffs, and they won 31-17. Joe Burrow played really well as he threw for about 230 yards and had 3 touchdowns with 0 picks. Killed it. Unfortunately though, fellas, everything good must come to an end, and Joe's magic ran out as they lose to the Chicago Bears in the next round 28-14. Burrow had a rough game as he didn't even throw a touchdown pass and had under 200 yards. Tough game. Winning the Super Bowl in the final year of the simulation ended up being Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers once again, so sadly you can say that Justin Herbert outplayed Joe Burrow in their careers. It's safe to say though, guys, that Joe Burrow's career wasn't all bad, and it was definitely a success. He ended as a 98 overall, guys. I mean, what more can you say about that? Got his superstar X Factor. I mean, he played extremely well in his career. Taking a look at his career rewards now, man, he won 1 Super Bowl, won 1 NFC Championship, and he had 3 yearly awards. I'm pretty sure they were all Offensive Players of the Year. But guys, I mean, Burrow played well. What can you say? Here's a final look at his career stats, guys. He almost threw for 40,000 yards, had 305 touchdowns, and only 115 interceptions. I mean, he played well, but I can honestly say I think the downfall of his career was the 272 sacks, and a lot of those came in Cincinnati, man. He just wasted his career there. He had to get out of there sooner, and I'm sure he could have done a lot better. All in all though, guys, Joe Burrow is an absolute killer. No disrespect to the man at all, and I'm sure in real life it wouldn't surprise me at all if he did better than he even did in this simulation. But as always, guys, if you did enjoy the content, please be sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and if you want to see more of these career simulations, leave a comment down below on who you would like to see with their career simulated. But as always, I'm the coming attraction, and thanks for stopping by.